Hello, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers, bringing you news and information from people making a difference in our communities. I'm Beverly Weaver, and joining me now is Russ Adsit, Executive Director of the International Erosion Control Association. Russ, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Tell us a little bit about what the International Erosion Control Association is.
We're an international group, a nonprofit group that serves the needs of connecting and educating those in the world interested in minimizing the effects of erosion and its byproduct, which is sediment, into our waters, into our air, and wherever it may dislocate through increased human activity.
Yeah, and definitely a bigger global approach has been taken, Russ, on a lot of environmental issues lately, hasn't it?
That's correct. And we've been around since 1972, and so we've had a lot of impact, but we have some history as well as far as what we have done and what we can do.
Now, one project that you've recently launched in February of 2008, the Soil Fund. Tell me a little bit about what that is.
That's an acronym for Save Our International Lands, and what that means is that we're attempting to use sort of a nonprofit within the nonprofit to do things around the world that may not be able to be done through government grants or things like that. And we've recently completed 2 summers of work in Suracu, Ecuador, to provide clean water, not only from a leaking water reservoir, but also pipes into the village so that they can have clean water in those areas.
Yeah, break it down really, Russ, for the basic person who may not understand that much about the problem of soil erosion overall, but this really does affect a village, a town, an entire city when you're talking about the impact of projects that happen.
That's correct, because the soil, not only if it's eroded, then is not there for growing crops and reforestation or vegetation, but also it then, when it translocates to the water, it kills fish and kills the aquatic life in that water and pollutes the water that's commonly used for drinking. So it really is a broad scope, and once we solve that erosion problem, we begin to solve some other problems as well.
Yeah, you mentioned Ecuador. You see a lot of involvement in South America with this international outreach, and tell me a little bit about what you kind of saw that is unique about the reaction in South America.
Because South America doesn't have the rules and the EPA like we do, or Clean Water Act, then their response is more community-based, which is interesting for us to see from the U.S. because their people are making their differences, and sometimes it's frustrating for them, but they use a lot of our resources and education and help to try to overcome those. A lot of our members are in the mining industry there, which creates a lot of erosion and sediment problems. But
it was kind of the cry of the people that brought you into that to work a little harder on making sure there was good erosion control, right?
That's correct, because they're beginning to see that what they do in one place has an effect in another place, and so they're beginning to say, if we fix this here, then we solve some other problems as well.
And in terms of how local contractors, engineers, developers can get involved with your group, tell me a little bit about how they would go about that.
Well, obviously, they can go to our website at www.ieca.org and become a member and be part of the whole process that we have. They can volunteer materials, volunteer time. Our members have taken working vacations, if you want to call it that, and taken their time and expertise to help on some of these projects. And obviously they can donate money as well. We are a 501c3, so it's a tax-deductible donation, whether it is materials or time or whatever it is that they volunteer. But we need people that fill a variety of different roles, whether it's material suppliers or consultants, engineers, pretty much anybody that's connected to that business is welcome.
Yeah, and in terms of making sure that, are you seeing pretty good awareness around developers and contractors and increasing awareness of the problems that can happen when we don't control it?
Yes, and that's heartening, not only in the United States, but in other countries as well.
Absolutely. All right, Russ Adsit, the Executive Director of the International Erosion Control Association, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver.